Well, howdy, partner, and welcome to another episode of Practical Preparation. I'm Jimmy, your host. Welcome back. Today we're going to be playing with my meat. I've recently bought a quarter beef, which I got from a good friend of mine, Joe Gierzak, and I got basically 156 pounds of meat, and in that I had just under 31 pounds of canning meat. Canning meat, about the only difference between canning meat and stew meat is they cut it in a lot bigger chunks. Again, very economical. I got the whole quarter beef when it was all said and done, cut and wrapped for $2.56 a pound. That's for roast, steaks, hamburger, everything. Then the other day at festival, I came upon these little gems, pork loin, $1.48 a pound. So we've got what, Tim? 26 pounds of pork, just about 26 pounds,
Right.
and just under 31 pounds of beef. So since we talked last week and we unveiled the Death Star, we've changed it up a little bit. I got Sears in here to fix the stove, first of all, and the guy said, you can buy what is called a canning element. Now, this canning element is basically, it sits higher off your range top, and it's got more of a superstructure under here that can hold and bear weight. So last night I put about, I suppose it's probably 80, 90 pounds of water in the All-American canner. We heated it up, test fired it, and everything went swimmingly. So we're going to try the All-American again today on the top of the range. But really excited to do this show. Me and Tam have been looking forward to this. It's kind of like I was just a little kid before Christmas last night getting ready for this. Tam had a really good idea. This canning meat basically came in one big block, and we've been unthawing it now for a good couple days. It took a long time. Just did it slowly. With that, let's get started.
Yep.
So, a lot of people say that you don't need to sterilize your jars when you're pressure canning, and I don't know, that might be true, but to me it's like, I don't see why you wouldn't do it. I just heat up my stove to 240 degrees. We're putting them in now, and it just kind of seems like, well, why wouldn't you not do this? It's just another step that's going to remove any kind of chances of any bacteria or anything going on. So, heat my stove to 240, let those jars sit in there for 20 minutes. Alright, while the jars are preheating, we've put 3 inches of water in the All-American 941, filled up the water in the Presto up to the first line mark, and don't forget, we always want to put a couple tablespoons of white vinegar in there so it keeps our jars from clouding up. Alright, so we've got our water simmering there, we've got our jars sterilized. Let's grab our meat off the porch here. There, we got our meat. We've cut up 3 onions, and how many cloves of garlic, Tam?
25, 30.
Okay, and then we're gonna fill them half with meat. Put a little onion and garlic in there. Fill them up, leave about 1 inch of head space, and put a teaspoon of beef bouillon in there. See you in a minute.
Okay.
So now, as you can see, we put onion, some garlic in each one of these, fill them up about halfway. And now we're just going with about a teaspoon of beef bouillon. Tamara's real allergic to MSG, so we found this. Where'd you find this at?
A Mennonite store.
Over by Sparta.
Valley Market.
Valley Market. They've got all kinds of fresh ingredients and really, really inexpensive. So we're gonna just keep doing this and we'll fill them up. We're getting ready to put them in the canner. So while Tam's burping the jars of beef, that's probably one of the most important things on here. You don't want to get air pockets and stuff going in there. So she's gonna burp the jars of beef, and I'm gonna start working on the pork. We're basically gonna put 2-pound roasts in a quart jar. About every one of these quart jars will hold about 2 pounds of meat. But when it comes to canning, you really want to trim this fat. So right now, I'm going to start on these pork loins, trimming down that fat before we put it in the canning jar. You know, there's nothing better than my mom's apple pie. And the key to her apple pie is the fact that she uses lard in the pie crust. So we're going to save this fat, put it in our freezer, and we're going to make lard later. So don't throw away that fat because you can use it. So we're almost ready. We've almost got all the jars burped. I've got 4 of these filled with pork. You can process pork and beef in the same canner because they both take, you know, pints take 75 minutes. Today we're doing quarts. That's going to take 90 minutes. I like this Montreal chicken seasoning in my pork. And I just take and put a teaspoon of that in each jar. But don't forget, when you're working with this meat, there's a lot of fat and a lot of blood. We got to make sure that the rims of those jars are absolutely clean. So we're going to wipe them down with vinegar and make sure that they're spotless so we get a good seal. Sorry about that. The phone ran out of video. We've got 19 quarts all loaded up there. We vented the pressure cooker and now we're waiting for our pressure to build up. I think it's going to take a while because we got a lot of processing in there, but we haven't heard any of the clicking or the popping that we heard last week, have we, Tam?
That's right.
Now we're just putting on the final touches here, and we've made sure we really focused on these lids because there's a lot of meat material, a lot of fat material. You know, wouldn't that be terrible if we went into all this work and they didn't seal? So we're just loading this up, and just remember that when you put the lid on and the band, you just tighten down the band hand tight, just finger tight. So just kind of go like that, and then just snug. So all right. Well, Tam just informed me that we started at 7:30 this morning. It is now 3:30. Canning is a long process, but a lot of it is just kind of waiting around for the canner, waiting around so you can do other stuff around the house. But I am super happy about what happened today because this is the largest process we've ever done. We got 26 quarts canned. Didn't have any of the stuff that happened last weekend. And we processed for 90 minutes. There wasn't any problems there, was there, Tammy?
Nope.
I really like the All-American 941 because if you keep enough heat on it, it won't really even overpressurize. Where with the Presto, you got to watch it more. You got to be there and kind of. But enough talk. Let's see what we got here. So all the pressure is off. Now we're gonna start with the unveiling. Ooh, Tammy, I just heard one seal.
Already?
I just heard one seal. Did you hear that ping?
Yeah,
that ping means they're sealing.
Yeah.
Where's my tongs at, Tam?
The lifter.
Yeah.
It happens to be over there.
Okay.
Why don't you open the front door when you go past? That gives us good light.
How's that?
Good.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Oh, it smells good.
Doesn't it smell good?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh my
Does
gosh.
that smell good?
Oh my gosh, Tam.
Yeah. It's
You
really
can see
dark.
It's really dark. Yup. Why don't you shut it off for a little while?
Okay.
These are really sealing up nice. We've been hearing everything ping the way it should. You can hear them they're still cooking. That's interesting. They'll still cook for what, like another probably hour?
Probably.
So.
You leave them sit still for 24 is what's
Yeah,
recommended.
we gotta let them sit still for 24 hours. You don't want to touch them. Yep, you want to ensure that vacuum seal is properly fitted to the rim of the jar. But, well, Tam, we've had another successful canning session.
Mm-hmm.
And I sure appreciate your help.
Mm-hmm.
And I sure thank you for watching. If you like these videos, I don't really care if you subscribe or thumbs up me or anything. I mean, just hope you're enjoying them and hope you're having a great day. Thanks for watching Practical Preparation. We'll talk to you next time.